Last episode, we talked about the collision of neutron stars, and this week we're landing back on Earth to discuss the ever-growing concern of coral bleaching. Also on this episode, Dub Geo invites you to join us for a screening of the documentary Chasing Coral. I'm your host, Maddie Peterson, and you're watching Dub Geographic. Coral bleaching has gotten a lot of attention recently. But before we dive into this problem, let's talk about coral in general. Believe it or not, coral is actually an animal. It is related to jellyfish, and the colorful layer that we all know and love is actually a collection of multiple coral polyps. These polyps are built up and grow by secreting layer upon layer of calcium carbonate. So the structure of coral is actually built on top of its skeleton. Coral survive through an amazing symbiotic relationship with a single-celled algae called zooxanthellae. This algae actually lives inside the coral polyp and is what give corals their beautiful colors. Inside the coral, the zooxanthellae is safe from predators, and in return for this protection, the zooxanthellae provide nutrients to the coral through photosynthesis. This relationship is crucial to the survival of the coral, as corals get up to 90% of their food needs from zooxanthellae. Hashtag relationship goals. Now that we understand what corals are and how they work, we can get to the coral of the problem. Coral bleaching occurs when the coral purges its body of its zooxanthellae. When coral is exposed to environmental stressors it is not used to, like pollution and rising ocean temperatures, it looks for the source of the problem. Unfortunately for the coral, its immune system responds by expelling the zooxanthellae, and without this algae, the coral will starve to death. It is called coral bleaching because without the zooxanthellae, the coral turns white. Right now, our global oceans are undergoing a mass bleaching event due to rising sea temperatures. If this event continues, it will lead to devastating consequences for the ecosystems and species supported by coral reefs. If coral reefs die, not only marine species will be impacted, but millions of people that rely on reefs will be hurt as well. That's right, people need the reef too. Many communities have economies that rely on the tourism brought in by coral reefs, amounting to billions of dollars in the United States alone. Furthermore, reefs are really important for juvenile fish development, and the money that coral reefs bring into U.S. fisheries is estimated to be over $100 million. Coral reefs also prevent property damage caused by lower-level storms and regular wave activity. If we allow this massive bleaching event to kill the world's coral reefs, then not only will nearly a quarter of marine species be under threat of extinction, but the world economy will lose hundreds of billions of dollars annually. With all that being said, it is easy to feel discouraged about the fate of our coral reefs. But there are people who are incredibly motivated and are making a difference in the fight against coral bleaching. The filmmaking team at Exposure Labs spent 3 years producing a documentary about this issue and has challenged people all over the world to educate their communities about coral bleaching. Dub Geographic has accepted that challenge, and next Thursday on November 16th, we'll be hosting an impact screening of Exposure Labs' documentary, Chasing Coral. The event will begin at 6:30 p.m. in Dobo Hall, room 134, and will include a screening of the film, a virtual reality experience, and a post-film discussion with UNCW's very own Dr. Joseph Pollack. Be sure to check your calendars to see if you can come out next Thursday, and thanks for tuning in to Dub Geographic. See you next week, Seahawks.